In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can be making $2,000 a month in pure net profit from one Airbnb every single month in as little as 42 days. And best of all, you don't have to purchase any real estate. This is the exact process that I used to get my first Airbnb property just in 2 weeks without having to spend a huge amount of money up front. If you stick around to the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to fully build a passive Airbnb business that's going to be generating you $2,000 a month in net profit per unit every single month. That's going to allow you to build a passive income stream. It might even allow you to quit your 9-to-5 job, and it might even get you to my level one day where you're making $1.5 million every single month from Airbnb. Your path to $2,000 a month profit in 6 weeks begins today. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go on LegalZoom.com and go in and create an LLC for either the state of Delaware or the state of Wyoming. After you get your business set up, you're going to go to Chase Bank, bring your articles of incorporation, create a Chase business checking bank account. After that, you're going to want to create an online presence for yourself. That way, when landlords look you up, they know who you are. Go on Wix.com, go on Squarespace, and create a business website. A website showcasing exactly what you intend to do, what your company does, where you operate, and what your goals are. You have to do this part no matter what. Otherwise, when a landlord looks you up and they don't find anything on the internet, they're gonna be very skeptical and they're not gonna want to work with you. The next thing you want to do is get your financing in order, making sure that you have enough business credit to furnish your Airbnbs. Now, let's say you don't have any business credit or you don't even know where to begin. The first thing you want to do is create a business credit profile on Dun & Bradstreet. Go on DunandBradstreet.com and sign up for 3 trade lines. Buy an item from 3 different websites and make sure they ship to your house. That way, over the next 30 to 60, 90 days, they start reporting to your DMB profile. So when buildings look you up or lenders look you up, what it'll show is that your credit worthiness is in good standing and you'll get approved. Then deposit $10,000 to $20,000 in a Chase business checking account. Let it season for 60 to 90 days. Then start applying for business credit cards, preferably 0% APR credit cards. That way, you don't really have to worry about any of the payments for the entire year. And you can use that money to furnish your furniture. Now, the next thing you want to do is find profitable locations. You do that by using AirDNA.co or using Airbnb or a blend of both. For this example, we're going to be using AirDNA. Go on AirDNA, create an account, and you can create the very basic one. It's only $15 a month. You get a lot of good market insights and good information. You're probably wondering, where do I begin? Where do I start? And I tell people this all the time. The best place to start your business is where you currently live. Because you're local on the ground, your startup costs are a lot lower. You're there to handle anything if anything goes wrong. You're also a lot closer. That means you can go and pitch in person. So where you live is what I really recommend for where you should be starting. Now, unless you live in a place like LA or New York City, obviously doing arbitrage in those cities is not really possible. You have to look at any other state where you can do this remotely or states nearby that you can drive to. I have students in New York that have properties in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, in Florida, basically all over. I have students in LA who have properties in Scottsdale or properties in Miami. It doesn't really matter where you live because the whole goal of this business is to have it run passively, automated, where you're not involved in the day-to-day, where you can be living your life and doing whatever you want to be doing. Now, the few things that I look for in a profitable location or a market is to making sure that market score is at least above a 75. Then I want to look at total supply. Has the supply been increasing over and over and over again, or has the supply been decreasing, and figure out why? Has there been new regulation? Has there been some type of change in the market? And figure out exactly what the total supply looks like, whether it's 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, houses and apartments, and so on. Then a really important metric you want to look at is RevPAR. This is very, very important because you want to make sure RevPAR is not on a decline. If RevPAR has been declining year over year after year, in 2024 RevPARs are lower than 2023, run away from that market right away. RevPAR should be on an incline. RevPAR should be going higher. Doing market analysis involves so much more. I probably need another 2 hours just going over it. But on a high level, this is good enough to give you a good understanding in the basics of where to actually look. Now you're going to start reaching out to landlords, going on Zillow, start cold calling, start cold emailing, using the exact scripts that I provide and saying exactly what you need to say to get them to allow you to Airbnb their property. You can do this yourself like I did when I first started, or you can hire a VA for $4 an hour that'll run through 500 buildings in the span of a week. Once you find a property and it actually is profitable and the numbers work and you've underwritten it correctly, now it's time to start negotiating with the landlord. I always ask for at least 1 to 2, if not 3 months free in rent concession up front. Security deposits, I always want to pay the lowest amount possible, and the last month's rents I've never paid in the last 3 years. For example, if I were to lease a house from a landlord on Zillow, I would tell Mr. Landlord I need at least 2 months of rent concession for free up front. That way it gives me time to set the property up, furnish it, take pictures, and recoup all that capital expenditure back as soon as possible. Getting free months of rent concession really increases the ROI in your cash on cash return and reduces the time it takes takes to get all your capital back out of the deal. Now your lease is signed, now it's time to actually design the property. You can either design it yourself, have your wife do it, or hire an interior designer like I do now. You can hire an interior designer from the US and pay up to $5,000 to $10,000, or you can hire someone from Upwork or Fiverr and get it done for $100, and they'll do an 80% job, if not 90, which is honestly good enough for 1/100th of the price. Start ordering all the furniture to the property, start getting everything set up, all the internet being set up, electric, gas, water, start ordering all those services, start adding all the furniture where it needs to go, hiring furniture builders, hiring handymen, painters, movers, get everything built as fast as possible. You're burning time. Every single day the property is not rented and not making money is an opportunity cost of money that you're losing. After the property is fully furnished, now it's time to call that HR photographer. Have the photographer come the very next day, take HR photos of the entire place. At least if you're doing an apartment, a studio at the very minimum, you should be able to get at least 10 to 12 photos, if not 15. Houses, at least 30, if not more, if you have a really nice big backyard. While you're furnishing the property, you should already be interviewing cleaners. Have 3-4 different cleaning companies come out, clean certain parts of the house, and interview them, see what their prices are, start negotiating, and see who does a really good job. Fire the people who didn't do a good job and keep the ones who did do a good job. Now that your cleaners are set, you just got your pictures back, now it's time to take the actual photos, list them on Airbnb, and create the ultimate listing using my templates, using my guides, all the things that helps boost your SEO and helps you better with your search ranking in the algorithm. After that's done, your listing is now live and ready to take booking, but not yet. Pricing. Go ahead and use Price Labs, Dynamic Pricing, or Wheelhouse as your dynamic pricing software. Hook it up. That way you have some type of pricing software used to price your Airbnb. Even if you have no idea how, even if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what that means, just use Price Labs, watch the tutorial, watch your beginning guides, and it'll give you an in-depth explanation of how dynamic pricing works, how to sync your listing, how to set it up properly, and make sure you're maximizing as much revenue as possible. Now, the most important part is collecting 5-star reviews. After your guests check out, you have to review over the next 14 days. Your first reviews matter the most because you don't have an actual rating on Airbnb until your first reviews are actually in. So try to get 5 stars right at the gate. That way your overall rating shows up as a 5.0. And then eventually you'll become a super host, which will greatly help with bookings, revenue, occupancy, and everything above. Now you've built your Airbnb business, you're making money, you're making $2,000 a month in profit, but you still are working in the day-to-day. Now it's time to remove yourself from the day-to-day and start delegating. Start using software, start using automation, start using tools like I use in my business, like Hostaway, Enzo Connect, using Breezeway, AutoHost.ai, Guesty, OwnerRez, and much, much more. And on top of all that, now you have to hire a VA. My 450 Airbnbs that make me over $1 million every single month are run by a team of 25 VAs from the Philippines. You can go on onlinejobs.ph and hire a VA yourself for $4 to $5 an hour. And that person will literally run your entire business for you as long as you've trained them, know how to hire them, know when to fire them, and make sure you have good SOPs, good processes, and good training manuals built out for them. I spend a maximum of 2 to 3 hours a week running a $15 million a year Airbnb business, but my VAs pretty much run the entire show. So that's exactly how you're going to be earning at least $2,000 a month in net profit from your very first Airbnb in as little as 6 weeks. You can 100% take everything that I said in this video and start applying it to getting your very first Airbnb arbitrage unit. But the chances are you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks, not knowing what to say to landlords, not knowing how to underwrite a deal properly, second guessing yourself and figuring out if this unit's actually going to be profitable, figuring out how to negotiate with the landlord for 5 or 10 units, how to negotiate concessions, figuring out a lot of things that I made a lot of mistakes on and wasted my time on when I first started the business, and wasted tens of thousands, if not $100,000 just making those very same mistakes and learning from them. So if you found this video useful and you're inspired to start your very own Airbnb business, then it may have something for you. I have a program for people just like you who hate their 9 to 5, just like I did, that want to tell their boss to F off, that want financial freedom for themselves and their family, and want to actually go enjoy life. It's going to cover everything from A to Z on how to start your very own Airbnb arbitrage business. I'm going to show you exactly how to get your first property in a little less 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to show you how to scale it to 50 units, 100 units, if not 400 units like myself. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to learn how to be an owner and not an operator. Because a lot of Airbnb arbitrage owners are just operators who are working day to day in their business. I started this business not to create another 9 to 5 job for myself. I created this business to have a life that I actually want to live, where I can go do what I want on my own time. Now, if you want to work with me directly one-on-one, where you can talk to me, call me, text me, and work together every single week, that's also something we can do. But it's not for everyone, and I only work with people who are highly motivated, highly energetic, and are 100% serious about scaling and building a big arbitrage business. I will literally work with you one-on-one every single week until you have your first property, and if you don't within the first 90 days, I'll continue working with you until you do so. That way, you can finally achieve the passive income dream that you've been dreaming of. If that sounds like something that's a good fit for you, click the link in the description and book a call with myself and my team, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program or working with me one-on-one directly. As always, make sure to subscribe for more Airbnb arbitrage content, and I'll see you in the next video.